All right, we have talked about the value of choosing the right team around you for your cancer fighting journey. This video, we're going to give some tips for who should be on your team, when you should think about your team being complete, because you shouldn't always be trying to add 30, 40, 50, 70 more people. You should feel at some point like you have a well-rounded team. We're going to talk about what to look for and how that's going to feel when you have a well-rounded team. Let's get into it. All right, the first person on your team is probably the most straightforward, a medical doctor oncologist, a traditional oncologist on your team. Specifically, you want to be looking for the type of oncologist who is a researcher at heart, who is bringing ideas and concepts to you that are clear, that they are researching and learning themselves and staying on top of what is current and what is new. You also want to find an oncologist who sees the value in an integrative approach to treatment. And that just means that they see how diet and lifestyle choices and supplementation and naturopathic things are complementary to the treatment that they're going to recommend, that they should be the ones saying, you should consider, fill in the blank. And so that's really the type of oncologist that is ideal. Rachel and I, we were very blessed to find that oncologist in our doctor, Dr. Nick Chen, up in Seattle, the Seattle Integrative Cancer Center. And this definition kind of fits the bill for him and his approach to cancer treatment. So the doctors are out there, they exist, and they shouldn't be too hard to find. I would just say keep looking. If you have a first consult with a doctor and they feel very dismissive, or they feel like their approach is just like, trust me, I know what I'm doing, just, live your life, don't worry about it. You want them to educate you, not tell you what you should do and ask you to just trust them. So that's number one on your team. Number two, you want a naturopath with an oncology focus. So a naturopath who has experience working in the cancer realm. This is going to help with different IV therapies, intravenous therapies, potentially, like vitamin C and other things potentially for your specific cancer. But also they're going to help you think through supplements, diet, exercise, complementary treatments that are going to help you through. Sometimes you can find an oncologist who has a naturopath that they work with. Sometimes you're going to be a little bit on your own to find those two separate parties, and often be the one to introduce them to each other and say, hey, you're both on my team. I'm not on your team. You're on my team. Let's do some work together. That's number two person you want on your team. Number three is you want some form of exercise and diet coach. That might sound more aggressive than I intend. What I really mean is just, this could be a friend, loved one, but someone that can help you think through your eating plan, can help bring meals or help you change some of your diet changes that need, or help make sure that you're motivated to do whatever exercise you can do, and help you do those things. Essentially, you just need an advocate when you are overwhelmed. Life is coming at you, when treatment has got you pretty beat down physically, to help you make the right decision around that area of your life. So find somebody, pick somebody, talk to them, say, hey, I'd like you to be advocate on my team. In these ways, can you help me with these things? That's number three. Number four person on your team that you should consider is decision support. This should be either a close friend or a family member. Ideally, someone who's not too emotionally involved, meaning if they are as traumatized in some ways as you are by your diagnosis, this can be an extra burden that may not be helpful for them. So in some cases, a spouse might not be the right person because they're also processing you now having cancer. In some cases, it can be. For Rachel, I really was this support, and it was something I felt empowered to do, something that gave me some purpose. So it was useful as her husband to that. But sometimes you might want to reach a little bit further outside, someone who has a little bit more emotional bandwidth to help you through all of the decisions that you need. And there are a lot. Starting at diagnosis, there are a lot of decisions, even thinking through your team, right? And building your team. And should we talk to more oncologists? And what does that look like? And how do I get those appointments set up? having someone designated as your decision support is critical. And more than critical, it's just useful. It's deeply useful work that will take a load off of your shoulders. Number 5 person, treatment side effect support. This is someone who really is the coordinator of basic support on things like housework, cleaning toilets, setting up a meal train within your community or your church, helping shuttle kids around if you have kids that need to get to school activities, and helping think through the basics of life. If you are focused on saving your life, having someone who is designated and who wants to be in the position of helping you with your basic needs, family's basic needs, super useful. And having that plan ahead of time, not when you're so sick that it's hard to get out of bed, but having someone designated to go, hey, when I am so sick, this is what I could use your help in, so that they know, all right, it's action time. It's time to go. They are feeling awful and cannot do what they feel they need to do. I am going to step in or coordinate the right people to step in, support them in those ways. And the 6th and final person, this isn't an importance level at all, but these 6 types of people we think should be our team. It's a spiritual counselor. This is a pastor or close confidant in life that can help you think through spiritual aspects of what you're going with this really terrible cancer diagnosis, cancer journey. There are a lot of spiritual components to that. And when physical suffering is introduced, the spiritual becomes so much more important as an anchor. And Rachel and I have talked about this a lot. If you watch any of our videos, you know this is really important to us, that you establish a spiritual connection. Us, it's our Christian faith, our church, and pastors who are deeply involved in our life. And often when we have really hard decisions to make, they are on our team. We're having them over, or they're having us over, and we're bringing our kids, and we're sitting down and we're just talking through the spiritual components of the decisions we're trying to make and the struggles that we're going through. And they often play counselor and advisor at the same time. So for us, these are the 6 we recommend. If you have others on your team that we left out here, let us know. We'd love to further flesh out this concept of building your team and how to think about that. And so let us know in the comments below. Otherwise, go build your team and let us know if we can be a part of your team. Helpful way, from answering questions, helping find doctors. We would love to help. Go ahead and reach out either in the comments below or send us an email on the website. Otherwise, be blessed, be safe, and we will talk to you soon.